Hi, I'm Sumiko Murgai Nanda, and thank you for joining me along with Art Etc. for my second episode where I take you through some of my street work. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through the streets of USA. As I walk through the alleys and the streets of United States of America, I was encountered with some very expected and some rather unexpected street encounters. I have tried to develop my own unique language to be able to showcase these images, which are in some ways quite personal, and I hope that you enjoy these images. I really enjoy shooting show windows or display window displays because I just find that sometimes it offers you wonderful surprises. And in this image, what I really liked was the fact that there was Statue of Liberty and Mr. Obama's memorabilia just kept side by side. And just to make sure that I was just focusing on these three, I made sure that I put everything else out of focus. And this is just one of my show window images, and I just feel that sometimes these images offer like a thread to the whole story that you're doing. This young girl was walking around the streets advertising for Chicago, the Broadway show, and there was a certain playfulness in her that I thought was very infectious, and I wanted to shoot her just in the passing. In this picture, you see this tough looking bike, and you expect along with this bike, which is a Harley Davidson, which is actually also from the USA, you expect a tough guy with a tough looking dog, but it's in fact just the opposite. And it was this fluffy dog with this very tough looking Harley rider, and this dog was just not, it was just so the opposite of what you would have imagined, and that is sort of interesting for me, and that's what I wanted to capture. I chanced upon this little setting, which was in a toy store of a superhero. Superheroes are so big in the US, and here was this chroma background and this woman posing with the superhero. It was almost like a dream, they were trying to create something which was special for the person and making it into a special image for their fans. This picture was taken at the Statue of Liberty, and it was just that I was actually following these two sailors, and at this point I saw that they were with a little packet which also had the print of the Statue of Liberty, and I like the way of the placement of the Statue of Liberty in the background and the little packet in the foreground, just depicting the statue again. In this image, basically, I am trying to capture the buzz of New York City. And though there are quite a few elements in this image, basically, that is all it's trying to do. There is this cop who's on horseback, and you don't really expect a cop on horseback in New York City. You expect everything modern, and that was a very pleasant surprise, in fact. And you have this woman in the left of the frame who is completely not affected by anything that's happening around and is busily going about her job, whatever she's doing, holding a cup of coffee. And on the right, you'll see that there is just this person's hand, and I've shot it like that because I do want it to look like the cop on horseback is being shot by somebody. And that is just, it was just a really interesting thing to see on the streets of New York. I was following people quite fixated about the Mickey and Minnie Mouse memorabilia. This was in Orlando and at Universal Studios, where I have to say that the fixation and the obsession just doesn't stay in the game park, but crosses its borders. At first, I was actually looking more at the headgear, if you look at this picture of this little girl, but I was mesmerized and distracted from the headgear to this little one's eyes. And I actually took this picture more because of their headgear, but I think it was just so American in its whole sort of demeanor. I took this image somewhere on some streets in the USA. I can't remember exactly where. And this pattern almost looked like an A, and it stood for A for America, A for abstraction, and A for the abstraction that America probably is in the minds of people, many people who haven't even visited. And like any other visual media, because I've taken this very minimalistic, abstract approach to photography in this particular image, I just let the viewer imagine and have his own interpretation of what he wants to make of this very graphic image that I have taken on the streets of America. These folks that you see in this particular image actually display the very, very cosmopolitan fabric that USA has. They were very, very arresting subjects and were just passers by that seemed to have been caught in a transient moment, and they displayed a unique sort of emotion, that I captured. They were talking about something religious, and there was a heated moment over there. Again, something that you don't really see very much, or don't expect, at least on the streets of a country like USA. But yeah, there was something going on which I tried to capture. I shot this on the streets of Universal Studios again in Orlando. You see over here Donald Duck looking very sad and unhappy. Normally, you will see Donald Duck is always there in images, adding joy to people, his fans, some small, some young, some not so young, adding joy to the frames when they get photographed with these Disney characters. But I caught him and his team a little off guard, and in one of their very candid moments where Donald is either very tired or is upset. And I thought that this was, in a way, quite revealing in terms of like a behind the scenes image. Thank you for joining us. And I look forward to seeing you all on our concluding episode of the mini series we brought to you on street photography. See you soon.